Hey guys, I'm Morthadon and we're back for Fairy Tale episode 318. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this episode. Last time we had an attempted ice shell by Gray, which didn't end up going according to plan because Natsu stopped it like I thought. And then we had the attempt at Fairy Glitter on August, which also didn't pan out, and because friggin' August too overpowered, he just didn't even scratch him at all, which is crazy. He started talking about some stuff like he doesn't understand what it feels like, what love feels like, the love for between a parent and child and stuff like that. So he kind of subtly threatened both of them to piss the other one off to try to understand that feeling more, I guess. So, we ended off with a very intense stare down from Gildarts, who seemed very angry at the prospects of the threat of him killing his daughter Kana, but yeah. Pretty intense stuff. We had Acnologia show up at Irene's body, and Urza and Wendy were still there, which they ended up... He just walked right past them, which was surprising, because I'm pretty sure he still wants to kill Wendy. But, I mean, he probably is so confident that he can do it whenever he wants. He's not worried about that yet. He was too worried about going to Irene's corpse, realizing that she's his mother, technically, because she created Dragon Slayer magic, and then just stomped on her corpse into what I assume mush, because we just saw blood flying everywhere and very gushy sounds. It was pretty brutal. But yeah, so maybe we'll have more fight between Gildarts and August this episode. We'll probably see things progress maybe between Zeref and Natsu, since Zeref seems to be very angsty to go after Natsu now that this is like his last chance before the fight with Acnologia. Or, they might also get interrupted and they might have to change their focus over to Acnologia. I don't know. Lots of things could happen, but yeah, guys, I say without further ado, we just jump in this episode and see what we got going for us this time. Alrighty, so like usual, down in the description there's going to be a Vimeo link. You guys can click that link, and it'll bring you directly to the reaction. I actually read that the app got an update, and I don't know if it's only for content creators or if it's for everybody, but if it sounded like it was a pretty big update. I didn't look too much into it, but the app might be a lot better than it was before, which would be pretty cool. So don't forget to check out the app if you're on mobile, so that way, it works a lot better on mobile than the website does, at least in my experience with my phone, But yeah, guys, go ahead and click that Vimeo link right now. Alrighty, guys, so that is the end of episode 317. Oh, what an episode. Or no, wait. Was that 318? That was probably 318. Yeah, 318. My bad. I think I said the right number at the beginning. I hope I did. I seem to do that sometimes. I think I did that on one other episode, too. I don't know if it was Fairy Tale or another show, but either way, that's 318. Very good episode. Very, very good episode. I wish I said it sooner, because all those flashbacks that were happening between, Mavis's kid, Mavis and Zeref's kid, and then flashing to the fight between August, I thought it was a little strange the way they were telling that story. But right as I was really, I almost said it, I was almost like, man, why are they doing so much of this when, it's August's fight that's going on? Usually the flashbacks happen for the character when they have a big fight like this, but no, it was August all along that was Zeref and Mavis' kid, and Larcade is... Then what's Larcade? Because... Oh man, okay, let's work through this. We know that somehow, we learned from this episode that somehow Mavis actually had a kid, it seemed like. He did use the words, he never said pregnant, precked, when he was analyzing her, and he said there's another life inside Mavis. So, is it like a magically created life, or was she actually pregnant? We saw her kiss Zareth and then go into a coma. Did did Zareth do naughty things to her after she went into a coma and that's what got her pregnant? Or was this before they kissed and we just, like, didn't see it? I don't know. Like, they never hinted at anything like that, so I'm very confused. Unless it's, like, a magically created baby. You know, I guess both their existence are, like, very different and chaotic and stuff like that. So maybe some kind of, like, curse of contradiction is what created him. I don't know. But, so, I mean, I guess it's confirmed now that the kid is August that they had. And all those flashbacks we saw were August, but they teased us, making us think it was Larcade back when the fight between Larcade and Sabretooth was happening. So that was obviously a lie. And this episode, Zareth said that Larcade is a book from the Demon of Zareth. I mean, a demon from the Book of Zareth. Wow, like that was a dyslexic line that just came out right there. Uh, so if that's the case, then was he somehow given the memories of being Zareth's kid? Or does he interpret the fact that he is a Book of Zareth as him being a child, even though it's not, like, the exact sense of it, you know? But then also the other thing that confuses me is back when the fight between Larcade and Sabretooth was going on, August mentioned Larcade's mom being Mavis. So, unless it's a second child, I don't understand why he would lie. Because he was, like, alone at that moment, I think. So that means he just straight up lied to us in the camera just to trick us. Unless it was worded in a way that I didn't realize, and, like, I interpreted that he meant that it was Larcade, but it really was him he was talking about. I don't know. But the pieces, like, so don't add up in my head. Like, I'm so confused by it that it almost feels like they wanted to, like, throw another twist at us, so they made this up without thinking about it. But I don't think that's the case. I'm sure it's something that I'm missing and not understanding. I don't know. I don't even know if the next episode will have more info, because I think he might be, like, downed now. Although, if we learn more, but Larcade's there and hurt, but still alive, so maybe we'll learn more about Larcade, and that will fill in some of the blanks. But I'm just so confused at how all that works. So, interesting. The fight between, I guess, to move on a little bit, just because I don't know what else to say there. I don't know what other ways to piece that together with the info that I can remember. But the fight between Gildarts and August and Kana was cool. I kind of wish it was slightly more grand, I'll say. It was still very cool. I like the whole, like, August spent the whole time trying to understand the love of a, father and daughter, or parent and child is a better way to word it. And, he became so powerful, he learned so many spells, and none of it was enough to satisfy him. It was really his weakness was the lack of understanding that. And because of, because he's so strong that he probably could have taken out Gildarts and Kana very quickly, but he was kind of toying with them more because that's something that he didn't understand, So it was his weakness that brought along his defeat, because it gave Gildarts the time to discover his actual weakness, which is, holder-type magic that he can't block, apparently, or copy. So... But I kind of hope that the fight would have escalated after that, and it would have been like him really defending for his life after that, but instead it was just like a couple big attacks, and they seem to have taken him down. Like maybe he'll get back up, maybe there'll be more to the fight, but that seemed like a conclusion right there at the end. So I don't know. Um, Once again, we'll see in the next episode whether that was a full on conclusion or what, but I guess I wished it was a little more grand and a little bit more epic, but at the same time, it was still really cool, and I did enjoy it. The part with Gildarts having, like, the weird, like, it was almost like a magic net kind of thing wrapped around him, and he was just kind of pushing through was pretty cool. And he just, like, walked right on straight forward, walked into his cane, and just went right through his chest, which is, like, it must have been right below his heart. Like, that was pretty close. Um, so, yeah, scary. He did say that, like, a big section of that where that magic was hitting was where, Acnologia bit off, but I feel like it couldn't have been too much farther over from where it was hitting, or else it would have been, hitting his heart and killing him. But, anyways. Once again, kind of like I thought, the fight between Zeref and Natsu kind of raged on a bit more. We did see him start to go a little bit all out, because it seemed like last episode he was testing the waters with punches and stuff like that. This time he actually did a Fire Dragon Roar. He didn't do anything else yet, besides, like, flaming fists and that, but... and then I thought, maybe something would interrupt their fight and make them stop for a bit, and I thought it might have been Acnologia. I did not think that Larcade was going to show up, so that's interesting. I guess we're going to start to learn more, we learned more about August this episode. Next episode might be learning more about Larcade, before we get into the final fights, get kind of like the final reveals about all these different connections going on and everything, so... And then I'm sure we're gonna, seems like Mavis is starting to execute her plan a little bit more. She called, Lucy, Happy, and Gray back to her to talk about it in person, because she didn't want the telepathy being jacked and stuff like that, so... It seems like that plan's coming together. It seems like, Natsu's fight's kind of on pause right now while Larcade stuff goes on. August fight might be done, so we didn't get any Acnologia this episode, so we're kind of, like, coming up on, somewhat of the conclusion this episode. I was a little confused as to why we had the recap in the, right after the intro, because we had the recap in the beginning, which recap last episode, I understood that. But then after the intro, we had a pretty long scene where Mavis ended up going into her coma again, and then we also had when she was in the crystal with Precht and stuff like that. I was wondering why we saw that, but I guess it was just reminding us about everything that happened up until this point, where she, where they could continue those flashbacks a bit with more information that we didn't see, which was Precht and discovering the fact that Mavis had another life inside her, which is the way he worded it. Never said pregnant or anything like that, so I don't know. Interesting. I don't know if they're ever going to make that more clear as to how she got pregnant. Obviously this is... not really a kid's show, but it's obviously a show where they're not going to be like, yeah, they banged, they just don't do that in most shows, but, I don't know. I kind of wish they would insinuate as to how that happened, whether they say, like, yeah, like, August, our child, created of, the curse of contradiction, or whatever, and then, like, we could extrapolate there that he was created through, the means of magic, rather than the means of sex, but I don't know. Or if they just, like, hint at, the fact that maybe they did do it. I don't know. It's just so weird. I hope we get more info on that, but we might not. I don't know. Anyways. Yeah. Good episode, though. I think that pretty much sums up most of what I gotta talk about. Like, I mean, basically the whole episode was just dedicated to the whole August reveal, you know? Building up to it and everything, where we thought we were seeing Larcade and stuff until it really started flashing between the fight and the flashbacks, and then, you know, I started to realize, okay, there's something more going on here, because it's weird to have so many Larcade flashbacks during August fight, and then all of a sudden, boom, you know? But, yeah. I don't think, other than all that, I don't think much else happened this episode that I can really recall. So yeah, guys, I think that's just what all I gotta say. Good episode though. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to support the channel, you can hit that subscribe button. You can also go down into the description where there's a link to my Patreon if you want to get access to those benefits and stuff like that. It also supports the channel and everything. Very much appreciate it. Although, you know, if you don't have the money to spend, perfectly fine. Subscribing helps too, just because, you know, if I reach 1,000 subscribers and enough watch time on the channel, I can become partnered and monetize the ads and everything, which would be really cool. So that would all help me out as well, which is free by you guys. So, but yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.